Hello, welcome to the Honest Heresy. I'm your host, Rob. Obviously, if you're waking up and watching this, you know that there have been a bunch of new reveals for the Horus Heresy. I'm going to be talking through them now. Very exciting. Very, very exciting. I only ran an event last week. Last video you watched, I talked about that. And now there's a bunch of new models that have been announced. Like some that we were expecting, some we were not expecting. And so this is super, super exciting. So I'm just going to be going through them with you. Let me know what you think in the comments below, as always. And then let's just yap about it, shall we? So we've got a new Cataphracted Terminators and Breacher Squads. And this was obviously coming, right? We know since those datasheet changes that we saw earlier during the launch of the edition, which obviously everyone was very upset about, we've got these Cataphracted Terminators. And the Breacher Squads, obviously, we've already seen as well. But let's have a look and talk about it, shall we? While many battles of the Horus Heresy were fought on great open plains and amidst the ruins of conquered worlds, some of the most brutal took place in cramped confines of void ships across rubble-strewn breaches and besieged bastions. And obviously, this is also a good reference to the Zone Mortalis rules that just dropped, which I'll be reviewing next week, which is very exciting. It's here that the legions deployed their most heavily armed shock assault units, heavy Cataphracted Terminators, and Breacher Squads with slab-like shields. And in a major win for the fans of brutal, protracted sieges, both have been redesigned and thrown back into the fray with brand new multi-part plastic kits. The Cataphractite pattern of tactical dreadnought armor has been brought screaming up to date, so its prodigious size and bulk matches the scale of the Mark 6, Mark 3, and Mark 2 armor miniatures. Its thick armor plate and powerful seals generator does not come at the cost of speed, leading some legions to phase it out in favor of the more nimble Tartarus pattern, but the grim desperation of the Horus Heresy meant none could afford to be picky casualties mounted. Pretty fun. I actually played a game against a bunch of Cataphractite Terminator the other day, and they just kept failing charges. They sucked because they couldn't step up. Set up. So that was fun. All right, let's just take an initial hot take of the minis. 11 out of 10. A lot of people are pointing out that they have like a cinched waist. They've got like a lean build to them. They're not quite as, because they are bigger, right, than the other versions. Also worth pointing out, I'm sure many people are frustrated that they have these models already. Obviously, you don't have to replace them. They're not going anywhere, but I'm sure some people will be frustrated. I'm actually pretty excited as I don't currently have any. I think all of the ones that I got from my Age of Darkness boxes years ago, I gave away eventually or sold them. So actually for me, this will be an exciting thing to add to my Marine roster, especially as I cannot, and I'm sure this is a classic Heresy thing, I cannot stop kit bashing dudes. When the PDF came out for the Inducti, I was kit bashing all day long. I was just adding like big chainswords onto salamanders and doing a bunch of stuff. So having a bunch of kits and additional bits that I could go into my big box and build a bunch of dudes. Also, the Black Shields, army that you can run, Alone and Forgotten, where you can run a bunch of Cataphracti guys. Also very cool, FYI. But we'll ignore that. Let's just say you're a regular like Marine player. You want it for a Legion. Let me know what Legion you think these will look good in. Mine are going to be green for sure. I like these. I never really liked the Age of Darkness ones. Hot take, maybe? I don't know. I love seeing all the different weapons that we got here as well. And obviously these are going to match the data sheet that originally came out. I also like a lot of power mauls, which is very cool. The actual armor's cool. I like everything about it. I like the double shoulder pads. I think the double shoulder pads are very nice. There are actually 2 new Cataphractic kits coming out. The first is armed with a classic combination of power weapons, in this case power mauls and Volkite chargers, while the second comes with a more modern pairing of power fists and combi bolters. These configurations only affect what comes in the box, and you're free to equip your walking tanks however you wish. And you may have noticed that the rules these Terminators can take up to 12 in a squad, so each kit coming with 6 means it's easy to max out unit size. Oh, very exciting. That's very cool. And you can have like now I'm sure, again, some people are going to be a little bit bothered there isn't like a Cataphracti box and then maybe a weapon upgrade box so you can buy the ones of your choice. But again, I like that we're going to have like combi bolters as like options that you can run around with. All of the different heavy weapons as well is very cool. So yeah, some people might not be happy about the boxes going from 10 to 6. It's worth pointing out, and I've said this many times, Heresy is a cheap game versus 40k. The boxes normally just costed a little bit lower. And arguably there's someone on high that makes the decision that these are 6, not 10 for sure. But they're scaled up, so they wouldn't have fit on the sprues, I think is the point. Either way, if you're upset about it, let me know. I'm personally very excited. Breach squads are most commonly, either way, new Terminators. I'm excited about this. Really excited. I'm currently painting Marines, so can't wait to put these on the board and get these. So I'm hype. If you're watching this channel at this point, I'm excited about all of the releases. So not as excited as I'm going to be about Skitarii one. I might actually blow a blood vessel. Breacher squads, sick, great, insanely good. What is there really to say about this? Make sure you always take your Nuncio boxes. Yeah, I mean, the fair criticism is how many pieces are each one of these kits going to be, because whoever cuts up the models at Heresy is a monster. Each unit of 10, so you get 10 breachers, combines the versatile Mark III power armor bodies with the new breacher squad upgrade frame, containing shields, new arms, weapons, and heads, much like the upgrades found in the command squad boxes and various weapon packs. These new parts are fully compatible with Mark VI and Mark II tactical squads as well, so you can represent units from different armies and places with ease. That's good. Again, more kit bashing at this point, which is great. I love the breachers. I think they look amazing. The first place you get these awesome new kits is an upcoming Siege Assault Battle Group box, which contains a unit of 6 Cataphractii Terminators and Volkite Chargers and Power Mauls. 6 with combi power, so 12 in the box. 10 breachers and a brutal Leviathan Dreadnought with Siege Core and Siege Drill, the perfect line breaker to create an opening defense. Also comes with a selection of transfer sheets for Space Marines. I'm a little bit disappointed that the first place I can get these, I need to also get a Leviathan Dreadnought as well. I am a little bit disappointed about this, but normally these boxes also have an additional discount on them as well. So, I don't know. And I would probably pick up everything. And I'm not mad I get a Leviathan Dreadnought, if I'm honest. So, like, me personally, I'm not personally bothered, but I think it's a fair argument that people are like, why can't I just get the boxes on their own? But yeah, this feels like an easy pickup to me. Now, again, Cataphractii aren't even overly good. I'm going to put in quotation marks in the Heresy at the moment, in my opinion. Obviously, there are certain units that are good, but yes, either way, very, very exciting. Very cool. Very, very pumped about that. Would you believe that's not all there's for Heresy? There's even more. So, jumping on to what I think is the big news, is this Skitarii release. So I'm fresh off playing Admech at a event. So I ran an event, and also one of my friends, Toby, was also playing Admech as well. And shout out. So like, I'm very excited about this. Skitarii Battle Pilgrims. Of all the regiments of the Tech Martyrs that operated across the vast corpus of the Mechanicum, only Skitarii served the Fabricated General alone. Then, when the Horus Heresy split the Mechanicum and there were 2 rival Fabricated Generals, Skitarii Battle Pilgrims ended up on both sides of the war. So one of the things that was interesting for me as a Heresy 1 player is that a bunch of the like the Pelstas and the shield and spear Skitarii, they went over to be in the Questoris Night box. So I just have all these dudes that I can't really use, and obviously I can ally them in, which my friend Toby did last weekend. So it kind of kept the dream alive of running a bunch of Pelstas. But now that there's going to be other Skitarii which are that are just pure Admech, is actually, I'm very, very excited about this. Super, super excited. And obviously also it's because of the schism between GW, those Pelstas kits and those other kits, they use some GW parts, which obviously SDS and GW don't really see eye to eye anymore. Either way, these are stunning. They kind of remind me of like Ash Waste Nomads in some ways. Like they've got that kind of vibe. The weapons are cool. I don't know what this weapon is going to end up being. Looks like a pretty unique weapon. But these are great. This is going to be an instant pickup for me. I'm currently so deep lost in the source in Admech, it's unreal. So very, very excited about these. Jump Pack Majos when is the real question. Though Battle Pilgrims are generally human in appearance, much like the Mechanicum's forces, they're amalgamations of steel and sinew that surpass the frail shell of Mauls. They're built from human thralls, gathered according to ancient tithes, who are subjected to flesh-shriving, bloody ordeal that strips the body and mind of their weaknesses and replaces them with corpus scutari, advanced augmentics and armor. But yes, so nice, so nice. Like, very cool. These will be super fun to paint as well. That cloth will paint up really nicely, especially in whatever colors you've decided to do your Admech. Bestowed with the collective skills and wisdom of 1,000 past warriors, the Scutari take the field as an agile and resilient light infantry, which is also kind of needed. Like, the Admech book is a bit of a disaster in keyword bingo. So this might be a really good unit to put with, if they get line, oh my god, put with a Majos, this would be really, really good. Like, yeah, if they got line 1 even, that would, I mean, oh, they don't need line actually. In fact, what am I talking about? I'm talking about the wrong game. They don't even need line. They just need to be able to go with the Majos. So the Majos' comp controller can score the points. Because really, you I don't know. I could talk about Admech all day at this point, about scoring and not scoring. Anyway, these capable warriors stand somewhere between innumerable hordes of tech thralls and more heavily reinforced Thalax cohorts, laying down volleys of powerful close-range firepower from Voltok arquebuses. That sounds like a long-range weapon to me. Very cool. All right, love that. So yeah, 10 out of 10 in my opinion. So then we've got the Scutari Battle Pilgrim Marshal. They are led in a field by Battle Pilgrim Marshal, a veteran selected from the most proficient of Conclave's Ordinator squads. These experienced commanders are vested with the authority of a fabricated general in the field and frequently carry relic weapons like the symbiotic Orcrit Scepter to cement their authority over the Scutari in the given field. These are super fun. And what's also really interesting is moving away from the red of Mars and giving us a different look. Cool little character, looks great, fun for kit bashing, loads of cool pieces. Very fun. And then I am so excited about this because I was really mad. This is currently obviously out of production. This is a resin model. So obviously everything out of production, I think, is eventually we're just going to get in plastic, which is fun. So the bug is, I'm even more excited about the bug. Again, it's not great, but it's okay. Scutari conclaves generally operate under their own power and granted access to very few of the mechanics of battle automata. But among those they do deploy the Voltrax Stratos. These floating machines are retrofitted with extra scanning arrays and auspices to help search for lost relics. And they're just really fun. They got a bunch of blast templates, which are quite cool. You can kit them out in a variety of different ways. The Voltrax is a classic Mechanicum unit, previously only available in resin, returning to the range in new multi-part plastic kit. You can first get one of these lethal flying automata along with 16 Scutari Pilgrims and a Marshal in a box. And again, same thing. This feels a little bit better than the Marine box in that the bug, I mean, as a current Admech player, I don't have a bug. So I'll probably pick up a couple of boxes of these, get a bunch of this Scutari, get a couple of bugs, flog them Marshal to someone, or maybe even use 2 Marshals, or maybe even use them as like a tech priest, because they don't actually make tech priest models, right? Right, you'll be able to find all these models of Scutari in the next Journal Tactica titled Scutari, the Steel Hands of Mars. In this book, you'll gain access to Scutari Conclave's army list. Very exciting. And also, actually, wait, hold on. Let me just talk about it. We essentially field an independent force of Kelbor Howl's loyal troops or ally them into an existing army with a special rule that dodges 50% points limit for allies when they're included in Mechanicum Tagmata force. The reason I wanted to bring this up was this is our real first look at how we're going to start getting new things delivered to armies after our double Saturnine drop, really. You've got the double Saturnine drop from the past 2 Journal of Tacticas, both of which I've loved, and the lore has actually been really fun. I don't know if you've read either of the lore on the past 2 Journal of Tacticas, but I've loved them, and I've thought they've been really, really cool. So I've really, really enjoyed those. So I'm excited about this also as an Admech fan as well. But this might be how we end up getting new deliverables. A lot of rumors around there being Abaddon and some Justarians in plastic. So that would just be a little 48-page book with a bunch of stuff. Me, I'm on the side of I'm normally not a book guy. So in AOS or 40K, I'm normally like, don't bother with the books, especially because they're very replaceable. But these feel like, these are also pretty cheap. These feel like cool, like addendums. This feels like a kind of a newsletter in many ways, but a little bit more like bulky. And yeah, so I'm pretty excited about this. Extensive background lore covers the history of the Skitarii, their operations, and the fate that followed in the Horus Heresy. May it seem unbelievable that such dogged loyal warriors would ever turn against the Fabricator General and his traitorous master, but whole conclaves elected to fight with the loyalists, and the reason they might surprise you. Oh, that's fun. In addition to the lore and unit profiles, the Journal Tactic also includes the Relic Hunt mission pack, which tasks players with recovering objectives of unknown values during a battle. Very cool. Only finding out how much their prize is worth when they spend some time analyzing it, which I think is one of the missions from 2nd edition, I think. These unpredictable missions are a great way to shake things up once you're familiar with the core missions, the Age of Darkness. That's true. See what else is coming to Warhammer the Horus Heresy by checking back with our preview hub. So we might end up with some new stuff where the Siege Specialist Legion, yes, the Legion stuff. I mean, this is the first example, and I'd love to know what you think. First example of what these kind of books are going to look like. And also, I was just not expecting the Skitarii, and I think many people will say that they weren't expecting the Skitarii. So this feels like a kind of a fun update to Admech. As an Admech player, I feel really happy. You know, as a Marine player, happy. Give me a solar update in the next box, and I'm going to start getting really excited. I think that's very cool. So yeah, I mean, I feel pretty excited about this. Obviously, this hasn't been the big Custodes book everyone's been excited about. I think that might end up being this year, the next year. This book might even end up being this year. If not, we'll see it in January. Obviously, feel free to guess at the price what you think these little boxes are going to be. But I don't think they'll be super expensive, which is fun. Nice little like Christmas present or post-Christmas present. Let me know what you think. Anyway, let me know. It's now 3:30 in the morning. That's when I recorded this video. So if you like what I do have a Patreon you can support me on. If not, thanks for leaving some comments. Either way, you will definitely get some more Heresy content out of me soon because I'm absolutely in love with it. So I'll see you soon. Loads of love. Bye.